Hello! I'm wearing a big floppy sun hat because today's episode of Victoria Smells is going to be all about beachy smells and aquatic smells. I never considered myself a beach smell person. I spent a large part of my childhood in Long Beach, New York, which is not a tropical beach. It's not even a New England beach. It's just like a man-made beach where somebody just dumped a bunch of sand and then there's the Atlantic Ocean. I didn't like it. I didn't like how congested and crowded it got in the summers. I felt like trapped. Like I couldn't even go out and enjoy my own neighborhood because it was just overrun with tourists and people from Manhattan trying to come in for a beach day, whatever. But the whole reason I got into these beachy smells, these aquatic smells, is because I was going through a bunch of tiny samples and I immediately got hooked on Viktor and Rolf's Salty Flower. This really was a beach resort commercial in a bottle. The second I smelled this, I was like, oh my god, I can just see it, the camera going through the fancy hotel room and the big French doors are open with the white linen curtains blowing out into the sand right at your door, and like the couple walking down the beach with the flip-flops in their hands and the little tiny waves coming up and kissing their ankles, and the trees and the coconuts and the flowers and the birds around. Like this Viktor and Rolf smell, Salty Flower, really just gave me a sensory experience. This smell was a feeling to me. And I liked that it was called Salty Flower because my whole ballet channel, my whole ballet world persona is called Salty Sugar Plum. Like, I'm salty. I'm not your typical, sweet, dewy-eyed bunhead. You know, I'm salty. I'm a salty bitch. So the fact that there was, a perfume out there that was, Salty Flower, that felt like it was made for me. And then I found out it was discontinued. So obviously I needed it more. So I somehow got a hold of a couple of bottles despite it being discontinued. And now Salty Flower for me really is the pinnacle of beach scent. Like if I'm going to smell like a beachy smell, it has to be Salty Flower. But for that little bit of time that I was trying to hunt down Salty Flower after learning it was continued, I was stocking up on other scents, hoping that I could find something similar to Salty Flower. So I have accumulated a whole bunch of beachy aquatic scents, and I'm basically going to compare them to this, because for me, this is the top of the pyramid. And I just want to talk about them. Again, these episodes are to help me develop my olfactory intelligence. I just go into these different smells blind, and I want to try to pick out as many notes as I can. And also, I want to get as much watch time as possible on this channel because I want to eventually monetize so I can pay for a proper perfume course, perfume school, a fragrance training course. I want to have a real education. I want to become a perfumer or a fragrance designer. I would love to do that. So without further ado, here we go. And I already know what this smells like. I already know what all the notes are in this. I don't even have to spritz it. I can just smell the nozzle and tell you what's in here. It's so good. It's salty, but it's clean and floral and a little bit powdery. So it's like fresh salty, not low tide salty like where I grew up. This is like fresh, beachy, floral, flowery. It has a creamy smell without smelling like that coconutty, SPF sunblock smell. Salty Flower has top notes of sea salt, bergamot, orange blossom. It has middle notes of frangipani, tuberose, jasmine, base notes of moss and ambroxan, which is that musky smell that I believe is like the vegan version of ambergris. Okay, so this is the basis of comparison for me. This is the pinnacle of the perfect beach smell, the perfect aquatic smell. So we got that out of the way, and let's move on to our contenders. So I have already smelled Salt by Ellis Brooklyn. I did not like it, but it is worth mentioning again because this is a very, very popular fragrance. A lot of people think it smells creamy and delicious and whatever, and maybe it dries down smelling very creamy, but the first time I smelled it, I sprayed it on fabric. I did not spray it on my skin. And I thought it was aggressive. I thought it was kind of peppery. I thought it was kind of spicy. Not what I would expect from a feminine beach scent. So I'm going to give it one more try, and I'm going to actually put it on my skin and let it dry down properly instead of spraying it on a random couch pillow. Ugh, but like I already smell it, and I already don't like it. It's spicy. It has a spice to it. It has a pepper to it. And I don't like that. You all know how much I hate black pepper. You know my story about black pepper, why I don't like black pepper. I was a little kid trying to figure out how a pepper grinder worked, and you know, like the stupid little toddler I was, I pick up the pepper grinder above my head and I twist it, and black pepper goes in my eyes and in the back of my nose and down my throat, and I'm coughing and crying. It was a very traumatic experience, and ever since then, I don't like black pepper. I don't cook with black pepper. I do not like the smell of pepper. You will see me make a face anytime I detect pepper in any fragrance. That is just an ingredient that I will never make peace with, and I'm sorry. So they say the top notes of this are ylang ylang and violet leaves, which is very weird because you would think that would be a very green and fresh smell. It does not smell green and fresh to me. It smells predominantly like musky amber, and I know they use vegan ambergris, and ambergris is like a very, you know, like sought after, like luxurious smell. And it's found in a lot of perfumes, especially if you want to have a salty, sweet, musky smell. The middle notes are supposedly tiara flower and magnolia. I do not know what a tiara flower smells like by itself, but I know what magnolia flowers smell like because at my parents' house in Long Beach, New York, we had these two big magnolia trees, and they bloom, and it's so beautiful, and the whole tree is like on fire with these beautiful pink petals, and then they fall down and they rot and they turn into like these slippery banana peels, and it's a pain in the ass to clean up after them. So I know what a pink rotten magnolia flower smells like. I don't know what a white magnolia smells like. I don't know if there is a difference. I don't know which type of magnolia they used in salt. And then of course the base notes are the musk, the sandalwood, and the ambergris. So I will admit it smells better on my skin than it smelled on the pillow. I guess my own body chemistry or my heat, my own smell is kind of warming it up, and it's taking away that peppery smell and turning it into the warm sandalwood musky smell. So I hate it less now that I'm smelling it on my skin, but it is still not as good as salty flower. So I did smell this before in my Ellis Brooklyn episode, but I figured it was worth mentioning again just because we're doing a beach specific episode. See if I can bend the rim of my hat so my face is lit. My husband is a cinematographer, and he would be like, "You got that stupid shadow on your face. You need some uplighting." How about I just bend the rim of my hat? Looks less like a sun hat for the beach and more like a gardening hat now. But that's fine. Another honorable mention from the Ellis Brooklyn set was Fawn. This was a very, very coconutty, creamy smell. And every time I smelled this, or at least smelled it on my shirt, because I spritzed it on fabric, I kept saying, like, this shirt smells like it went to the beach. It smells like a beach shirt. So this is less salty and more creamy. So for me, beach scents, aquatic scents, it's one of two things. It's either really like salty, marine, aquatic, you know, like sea salt, spray, whatever, or it's a tropical, creamy, coconutty, fruity kind of smell that has that little bit of sunblock reminder, you know, that coconutty SPF sunblock smell. So this leans closer to the coconut smell. So again, the first time I smelled this, I did it on fabric, not on my own skin. So it's worth seeing how this smells on some real skin to see if it smells any different. When it first goes down, it's like baby powdery, like creamy powdery. Benzoin, I guess, is the word. For some weird reason, this is rated as a citrus floral smell. I do not detect a whole lot of citrus. Maybe in the top notes I detect a hint of citrus, but it is mostly powdery and coconutty and creamy. So let's see here. Top notes, neroli, magnolia, Sicilian bergamot. Fine. Middle notes, coconut. Yes, all I smell is coconut. Lily of the valley, yes, a little bit, and damask rose. I guess I smell a little bit of rose in there. But the base notes, which I find to be the most overwhelming, the most overpowering, are musk, amber, vanilla. And it smells like I went to the beach and applied sunblock and basked in the sun for a couple of hours, and now I'm just showing up to meet friends after the beach. And it smells like I was at the beach. It smells like after beach. Salt is saltier, a little more masculine, and a little cleaner, bright, but not in a citrusy way, while Fawn is sweet, musky, nutty, creamy, soft, feminine. Salty flower is somehow in the middle. It's somehow both. It's somehow creamy and salty. It's somehow fresh and bright and cuddly and musky. It's everything. Salty flower is everything. So I don't think we can continue a beach episode without talking about a replica beach walk. When I was searching for salty flower or something similar to salty flower, beach walk came up constantly. It was like, oh, check out beach walk if you like salty flower. So here we go. This smells like me as a child, as like a baby at the beach with my parents, but, you know, small enough to still be breastfeeding. And it smells like my mother's skin. My mother is a very, her natural body odor is salty, is beachy. You know, she always makes these jokes that, like, she's a water sign and she's meant to be near the ocean. But it's true. She has a very, like, salty body odor. So this smells like me being a baby, breastfeeding under a blanket and smelling my mom's skin at the beach. I would say it's even a little bit citrusy. It's sour, but not like, you know, not a rotten sour. It's like salty sour. It smells like skin. It smells like sweat. It smells like salt at the beach. There's a little bit of that coconut SPF smell, but it's not the most overpowering thing the same way that it is with Fawn. Yeah, this smells like my mom. So let's see, top notes, lemon, bergamot, pink pepper. I am surprised I did not make a face at pink pepper. Usually anytime there is any pepper, I make a face, because I can't stand pepper. But I'm not detecting, or at least my nose is not offended by the pink pepper. Middle notes, coconut milk, ylang-ylang, heliotrope, and the base notes are musk, benzoin, and cedar. It is less powdery and less fresh and less creamy than salty flower. So I have this, and I guess it's worth it to bust out the other replica, Sailing Day. I've never smelled any of these before, so we're in for a treat. Although Clean Rain I've smelled before, because I have a clean sample set that I'm waiting to do a review on. All right, Sailing Day. Okay, so this is very, very clean, fresh, aquatic. It's not salty, nor is it coconutty and sunblocky. Although it's kind of like simple, you know. I don't smell a whole lot of layers in here. It's a little green, actually. Like, it's an aquatic, but it has like a fresh green smell, like a grassy smell, or like seagrass, maybe seaweed, I don't know. It's nice though, like it's really fresh, really bright. There's not a lot in here that I can pick out. There's not a lot of smells in here that I'm familiar with. Top notes, C notes, whatever that is. Aldehydes, don't know what that is. Red pepper, weird, but okay. I guess it works. I guess that makes sense because whenever I bite into a pepper, whether it's a red pepper, an orange pepper, a yellow pepper, or a green pepper, I am just overwhelmed with watery. Like, if I were to describe a pepper to somebody, it's just crunchy water, you know? So, like, as long as it's not like a hot pepper or a spicy pepper, makes sense. Coriander. Middle notes, juniper, amyl salicylate. Don't know what that is. Iris and rose, and the base notes are seaweed, cedar, ambergris, and amberwood. And on the description, it says keynotes, aquatic accord, coriander, red seaweed essence. Okay, so there's already a discrepancy. And on the little card in here, it says sailing day is the memory of a day on a boat by the ocean, the freshness of the sea spray and the wind in your face, the soft warmth of the sun on your back, the communication with endless and deep ocean. Oh, communion, sorry, with endless and deep ocean. I don't think it's salty enough to smell like any of those things. Like, have you all ever actually been on a boat? Like, have you all actually felt sea spray in your face? Like, that's not pleasant. That's salty. That's like salty and briny and like makes your lips pucker because it dries you out so quickly. Like, this smells too fresh and too clean and too hydrating and too wet to be like the ocean. It smells nice, but I don't think it's an accurate description. Like, whoever is describing this clearly has never, like, been on a beach or near the ocean. It is really nice, though. But like, it's not salty. Like, it doesn't smell like the ocean. It smells more like rain. It smells more like how I expect this to smell. While we're on the topic of salty, we got a Skylar Salt Air sample. I can read the description without giving away any notes. Palm trees, ocean breeze, salt air, sun-kissed hair. Salt air will send you on your way to your favorite ocean escape. Okay. I'm underwhelmed with the things that claim to smell like the beach as somebody that grew up next to a beach. Although, as I said, the beach that I grew up next to is not your traditional beach. It's not a New England beach, nor is it a tropical beach. It's like a man-made beach where everything just smells like salty, dumpy, low tide, and tourists. This smells like Windex. It smells like a cleaning chemical that wants to smell like fresh linens, or it smells like a very fake ocean spray. Like a Glade ocean mist candle or something like that. There might be like a hinty bit of citrus in there. This little card description says seascape elements like salt and sandalwood. This description on the back says driftwood, sea salt, and seaweed. Top notes, sea salt, green coconut. Middle notes, mineral, frangipani, and jasmine. Base notes, sand, seagrass, driftwood, sandalwood. I don't really smell a lot of wood. Wood usually has, like, you know, an earthy smell, a somewhat sweet, kind of musky smell, like, you know, you ever mulch tree branches? That's what it smells like. It smells more like a dry sea grass or like beach grass in the sand dunes more than it smells like sandalwood or driftwood. It smells like a really dried out like boardwalk. So up here is Salt by Ellis Brooklyn. Here is Beach Walk. That smells like my mom. This is Salt Air. Up here is Fawn. Still really coconutty. And down here, what did I spray down here? Sailing Day. Next, I guess we'll do Acqua di Gioia by Armani. I've heard good things about this. Ooh, I'm already getting like citrus and florals from this. Like lemon. That's like lemonade. And this is like a lot stronger sillage than the other ones that I've sprayed so far. Like I can smell this even with my head facing away from it. Everything else I had to kind of like, you know, put my nose right up against my skin. That's really, really citrusy. I'm surprised. Yeah, that's really like lemony, limey, and I'm having trouble moving past that other than like maybe some white flower to go with it, orange blossom. I don't know. I have to learn what flowers smell like what each flower smells like, because, you know, like, I don't know what freesia by itself smells like. I don't know what orange blossom by itself smells like. So I need to learn what these things smell like on their own before I can try to pick them out of a symphony. This smells more like the breeze, but it doesn't smell like a breeze when you're on the beach. It smells like the breeze you get when you're like at a restaurant or a hotel room that has open air windows and like the smell is coming up. Like the smell of the air came off of the ocean through the beach, came up and got heated by the sun, and then it's hitting you as you're up in this restaurant or up in this balcony in your hotel room or something. Like it mixed with the smell of the buildings and the street before it got up to you, but like in a good way, you know, not in a bad way. I'm not saying this in like a dirty way, but this smells like hot summer sun in a tropical beach town. But this does not smell like I'm on the beach. It smells like a beach experience. Acqua di Gioia blends citrus notes, yes, of lemon, yes, with water, jasmine, perfume, and cedarwood for a zesty and vibrant composition. Inspired by the breathtaking Italian island of Pantelleria, and its crystal blue waters. Okay, so it was inspired by a whole island. If I look up a picture of, what does Pantelleria, if I look up a picture of that and it's all like white buildings, like similar to like the coastline of Greece, then that is what I smell. I don't see a lot of structures, but the water is really pretty. Wow. Oh wow, it's out there. That's like off the coast of Sicily. Yep. That's what that picture, yep. That is exactly what it smells like. And then this description says, jasmine, gardenia, warm woods. Top notes, Amalfi lemon, mint. I didn't smell any of that. Middle notes, jasmine, peony, pink pepper. Base notes, Virginia cedar, French labdanum, and brown sugar. That's cool. That's really cool to me. That they captured an island, the smell of an island, not just the beach, the island. That was 100% honest. Like me saying, this smells like you're in in a building, in a restaurant, like up somewhere, like the air got heated by the sun on its way up with those white buildings. Like that was 100% honest. I did not cheat on that. So I could smell what they were going for. This is not a scent that I would wear for myself, but it is really cool. Like this triggered an experience. You know, this created an experience and a feeling. This is not just a smell. This is a feeling. You are transported to a place. That's cool. That's probably why I've heard such cool things about it. Okay, while we are on the topic of things that I hear a lot about, Dolce & Gabbana light blue, I know this has been around forever. I know that this is a lot of people's like signature go-to scents, but I've only smelled this like once or twice. I think my college roommate had a bottle. But this is not, I never thought this was intended to be an aquatic beach scent. Oh, it's in one of these annoying bottles. Ugh. I'm gonna spill it everywhere. Come on. Oh, that's so scary. I'm trying to find a blank spot on my arm. Okay, right there. Smells good. Or smells like nothing. So. Whoa! That's fruity! That's really fruity. I just did a quick whiff of all the other ones and just like tried to remind myself what I just smelled. And in comparison to everything else, it's even fruitier than the Acqua di Gioia that I had that lemon smell, that like lemonade smell. The lemon smell is kind of like half of what it was, but this is like, whoa, this is like, I got punched in the face with like some kind of fruit flavored soda. It smells sparkling, that sparkling apple cider. It's like tart cider. Not super sweet cider. Like when you get the sparkling apple cider, it's really like bright and fizzy. Like this smells like a cocktail. And now it's getting kind of grassy. Like it's green. Why do college girls like this? I can't imagine my roommates wanting to smell like something so, you know, like I thought the epitome of smelling good in college was smelling like fucking pink sugar, you know? Like cotton candy, like edible cookies, vanilla, caramel, sweet gourmand kind of stuff to like attract the stupid college boys that think that anything that smells like a cookie is good. Okay, I have to try. I have to try to pick out something. Name something. What flower is in here? I don't know, because I don't know what flowers smell like. I mean, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna take a guess. Most of these other aquatic smells put jasmine in their fragrance. So I'm gonna guess that there's jasmine. I don't know, it's really fresh. Like when I do that, that means fresh. Fresh, bright, but floral. But green floral, like a stem, like a rose, like roses, a rose stem or a rose garden that just got rained on. And that fruit, I don't know, like sparkling apple cider or like a pear or something. It's green. It's a green pear or a green apple cider, sparkling apple. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is really bright, fresh, sparkly, but fruity. Like this is not, I would not call this is not a beach smell to me. Oh, Sicilian cedar. Okay, so it's a Sicilian beach. Sicilian cedar combines with bright green apple. Green apple. Okay, I was close, but not 100%. I was like halfway there when I said, "Oh, this smells like sparkling apple cider or pear or green apple cider." I mean, close, but close enough. Bluebell, capturing the essence of a sunny South Italian summer. Okay, makes sense. I went to college on Long Island where there were a lot of, you know, Italian girls, Italian Long Islanders, Long Island Italians. So they want to smell like a South Sicilian summer. Feminine and resolute, the freshness of bamboo softens with the feminine bouquet of jasmine and white rose. Okay, I guessed jasmine, but not because I smelled jasmine, just because jasmine seems to be a popular ingredient in these beach smells. And white rose. Okay, I didn't specify rose. I just said like rose stems or like a rose garden, because it was like green to me. But maybe that's the bamboo. the bamboo that makes it smell green and fresh to me. I don't know. I don't know what bamboo smells like. This says keynotes citrus, apple, and bamboo. Top notes: Sicilian lemon, apple, cedar, bellflower. I guess that's the same as bluebells. Middle notes: bamboo, jasmine, white rose. Base notes: cedar, musk, and amber. I smell a little bit of the cedar and the amber, but it's not turning musky yet. Okay, done with that one. The last one of this pouch is Clean Reserve Rain. I already know what this smells like because I have a clean sample set. I mean, I never looked up what the top notes and middle notes and base notes are. I never looked up what is in there, but I have smelled it before, so I kind of know what I'm getting myself into. When I smelled this the first time, it smelled like, yeah, they want it to smell like rain. I feel like anything that smells like rain is going to have like a cucumber smell or like a watermelon rind smell or the fresh cut grass smell. I don't know if that's what they did. I don't know how they achieve that, but yeah, it has all of those things. It has like the slightly sweet watery smell, which I would call watermelon rind or cucumber, and the grass smell. So this is very green, very fresh, very watery. I do not detect any salt. And there is no creaminess, no coconutty, creamy SPF, like no sunblocky smell. This is just like I stuck my nose in a cucumber, but like a fresh cucumber, like a cucumber that was growing in the garden in the sun. You know, it's not like a cold cucumber. And dirt. There's a little bit of dirt in there, but like fresh dirt, like you dug up fresh soil, gardening. Not a woody, musky, vetivery, dirty dirt smell. A clean dirt. There's dirty dirt and there's clean dirt. And this is a clean dirt. Anyway, let's see what's actually in here. The little card says, purity that transports, refreshingly exotic. Awaken your senses with fresh, dewy plants and flowers you'd find along the Amazon forest. Bergamot, white flower, vetiver. Vetiver is that soil smell, but I guess it's like balanced out with all the other things to keep it like clean soil rather than dirty soil. Because it's not spicy. There's no spicy in here at all. Top notes, bergamot. Middle notes, white flower. Base notes, patchouli. This is not very descriptive at all. Yeah, it smells like fresh, clean garden. A fresh, clean garden. I think my favorite one out of this group is the Acqua di Gioia. Just because, like, that was the only one that actually transported me to a new place. Like, I could smell the whole city. Okay, but I have one more like surprise way out of left field that probably nobody would think would be a beach scent. But I wanted to do Michael Kors Wonderlust. In my very first episode, when I was smelling like all these samples, I had a Michael Kors Wonderlust sample. Now, I do not recall if it was regular Wonderlust or if it was the Eau de Voyage smell. But I remember when I opened that up, at first whiff, I swore I smelled grapefruit. But when I looked up the notes for Wonderlust, no grapefruit in there, no citrus. It was meant to be this really like creamy smell or whatever. Because it has that creaminess that kind of reminds you of a sunblock. Or at least I think it does. But it's not very strong and it does not last very long. Wow, okay, I think that little tiny sample I had was Eau de Voyage because I smelled a lot more citrus in that than I smell in this. But it has that creamy smell. Like, it does smell like a creamy, sunblocky, hiding under the beach blanket smell. And I don't think that's its intention at all. Like, it's meant to be something like much more, sweeter, but like, I don't know, like, at least the sample I smelled, maybe the Eau de Voyage is meant to be beachy, but regular Wonderlust is not. Let me see if I can find that sample. I found it. It does not say Eau de Voyage. It's regular Michael Kors Wonderlust, but it didn't smell like that. They smell so different. Is it because this is older? Like, is it because this has been sitting around? Like, they smell so different. I don't know if this was mislabeled, because it doesn't say anywhere on here Eau de Voyage. It just says Wonderlust. But when I smelled it, and I smell it now, I'm getting citrus. I'm getting citrus. So much citrus in here. And this, where I just spritzed this on the top of my hand, immediate sweetness. Immediate sweetness. So, like, is this just old? Has it been, like, sitting around for, like, however many years, and it's just, like, fermenting and turning sour? There's no way these two are the same. There's no way. They are not the same. They can't be. I just sprayed this again. I let it get more saturated. Maybe that's the difference, because this comes out in like a squirt, you know, in like in one stream. And I got that on my skin, and it was more saturated and more concentrated. And this comes out a little finer, a little bit more of a fine mist, and not as concentrated and saturated. But now, now they smell the same. That's crazy. I swore I was going nuts. Like, I was going bananas. But, I don't know, when you spray it really close to the skin and really concentrated like that, it is, I swear there's citrus in there. Something bright. Something a little bit salty. I don't think it's marketed as a beach scent, but to me, this could be a beach scent. Apparently, there was a video campaign depicting a woman escaping from a yacht into a small speedboat, into a rose-fueled sunset. The focus lies on the dianthus flower to give Wonderlust the feel of an almond milk that has been blended with a spicy, creamy floral. Top notes of almond milk are accompanied by the heliotrope placed at the heart of the fragrance, and the base of the composition provides a benzoin, a natural resin from Thailand, leaving the impression of warmth and the spicy sweetness of cinnamon. So the commercial had somebody jumping off of a yacht and going into a speedboat. That is the ocean, okay? Top notes, almond milk, bergamot, pink pepper. I guess the bergamot is what I smelled, making me think I was smelling grapefruit. Middle notes, heliotrope, jasmine, carnation. Base notes, sandalwood, benzoin, and cashmere wood. Or maybe the first time I smelled this in error, I looked up Eau de Voyage. Yeah, okay, so to clear things up, the first time I smelled this, I was correct in the things I was smelling. I was saying, like, I smell citrus, I smell grapefruit, you can't tell me there's no grapefruit. And then I accidentally looked up Eau de Voyage, which is lavender, spicy dianthus, and a sea salt. So I'm glad we put that to bed, but anyway, like this, I consider this beachy. This is actually, in some weird ways, actually quite similar to Salty Flower. The level of creaminess is the same. I mean, Salty Flower is saltier, but they both have that kind of creaminess. Like, I think this is closer to Salty Flower than most of the other stuff I smelled today. So you can take that with a grain of salt. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But in any case, we're all done. We've smelled everything, so thank you for joining me. Thank you for smelling with me, and I will smell you later.